Welcome to the Hylian Gamescast. We're going to be discussing the Shadow Temple. Do you know of the Shadow Temple, Daniel?
It's a scary one.
It is. There's blood and bones and everything everywhere. So
visible giant spiders.
Yes. So you guys always request us to discuss different theories or different lists and stuff. So today we're going to be discussing the Shadow Temple and a few different theories on its purpose, origins, and everything. This all comes from fantheories.fandom. There'll be a link in the description if anyone wants to read along with us. But it starts out, here is gathered Hyrule's bloody history of greed and hatred. A quote from a painting. Do you enjoy your quotes from paintings, Daniel?
I do. Most of the time. I once had a painting, I was looking at it, and it said, "When you stare at me like that, you make me feel self-conscious." And I was like, that's a weird quote from a painting.
It is.
But I guess I understand where you're coming from. So I took the painting and I put it in a closet. Just shut the door. No one has to look at that ever again.
Now
it gets that's where why the Mona Lisa's been missing for 2 years. Is that the museum? I just took it down, put it in the closet, and just shut the door.
Now, it gets a bit interesting when you consider every alternative world in Super Mario 64 is accessed through a painting. It all exists inside of a painting. There are also
and Mario Odyssey
is
causes
able
like
to
portals through paintings too.
Yeah, Ganondorf is also able to go inside of paintings, or Phantom Ganon.
Phantom Ganon, yeah.
And then we have A Link Between Worlds. All of the sages or whoever get trapped in paintings. I forgot what they're called in A Link Between Worlds.
The sages get trapped.
Are they called sages?
Or at least they're descendants of sages, and then they awaken as sages, much like OOT.
Yeah.
Oot.
So the quote from the painting could be like that. It could literally be someone trapped inside the painting if we go by other Zelda lore. Saying, hey, there's bloody history. Or
you wouldn't believe the stuff I've seen in here.
Yeah. So anyways,
you sure you want to come this way?
joking aside, it goes on to say, the Shadow Temple is the 7th dungeon from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Interestingly, the Shadow Temple's Japanese name, Yami no Shinden, is the same name used for Palace of Darkness in the Japanese localization of A Link to the Past. Ocarina of Time, interestingly, I have to read like around my microphone, so I'm like... I'll just hold it.
Which one in Link to the Past is Palace of Darkness? Is that the Eastern Palace's Dark World equivalent, or?
I think. I don't know.
I believe it is. Yes, it is. I looked on the wiki.
It has this twice. Like the same paragraph repeated.
Does it?
Yeah. That's odd. So the first theory here is its original purpose. One theory about the evil original intentions of the Shadow Temple is that it was built to absorb and concentrate all the evil, in quotes, and negative feelings of Hyrule, such as greed, hatred, jealousy, etc., all of which can form a breeding ground for what will come to grow into a corrupted world. Assuming that this statement is plausible, it would mean that the Shadow Temple was in fact built for the purpose of preserving peace and calm in Hyrule, making sure it would remain a healthy and prosperous country by simply taking in all conceivable malice and negative emotions, and not to be a dark, twisted torture chamber, which is easily assumed by the interiors and overall eerie feel the temple offers. Subsequently, this would mean that the Shadow Temple would have to reap the penalty of the wrongdoings of the entire world of Hyrule. Again, if plausible, this could certainly reduce the temple to nothing more than a frightening, distorted nightmare. Accordingly, this theory is based upon clues whispered by skull paintings in the Shadow Temple. Because of the presence of many torture and execution devices, it is also believed the Shadow Temple may have been used for human sacrifice. Why the potential sacrifice took place is, however, unknown, bringing doubt to this theory. No, so I think the original doubt is the first part there. I don't think that, like, that may be what it was made for. Like, I think instead of a place to like seal all the evil, I think like if you take it literal, I don't know if it would be literally or what the right word would be, but I don't think it's where like the evil itself was taken. I think it's just where people with evil in their hearts were taken to like behead or whatever, because there's like guillotines and stuff in there. So
well, that's kind of the idea I always had, was that it's sort of like their own sort of, Alcatraz or Guantanamo Bay, like Hyrule's Guantanamo Bay, like this secret prison. And something in Creating a Champion that I've been reading the last few days. That book is great. I breezed through 300 pages of it the other day in like a sitting. That was basically how I spent Sunday. It mentions that when the Sheikah split into the Yiga clan and their current iteration that lives in Kakariko Village, the Sheikah that lived in Kakariko Village chose to live peaceful lives, while the Sheikah that broke off and became the Yiga clan retained their original purpose as assassins. And it's interesting that it specifically words it as their original purpose, meaning because the Sheikah, we know, were like agents of the royal family that, operated in the shadows. I think before that they were servants of the goddess, but then they became sort of these shadow assassin ninja people for the royal family after that, because the royal family is like literally the bloodline of the goddess. And I figure that this is sort of like, because we see the Sheikah symbol all over the place, that it's something that they basically use as their like, oh, the royal family wants this person gone or whatever. They take them to the Shadow Temple and they, do the dirty work that the actual royal family doesn't want to dirty their hands with. So it's kind of messed up. It's kind of freaky deaky stuff, but
I like it.
It's that's always been my personal take on it. But yeah, man.
All right, take us to another one of these theories.
Yeah, well, I really like they've got the most stuff here on the Shadow Temple. There's a lot of other really weak theories on this page. So let's jump through another one of the Shadow Temple theories that it's got listed here. So prison. It says another more likely possibility is the temple was used by the Sheikah. Okay, yeah, here we go. To punish and imprison enemies of the royal family of Hyrule. Similar to the original purpose of the Arbiter's Grounds in Twilight Princess, this is due to similarities between two dungeons that contain many ghosts, undead enemies, presumably tormented souls and animated corpses of prisoners once held there. This could also explain the temple's layout as a design to prevent escape, possibly even designed to contain their evil souls to prevent them from ever taking revenge on the living. That last part's actually kind of neat, if you think about it. In addition to being a temple, it may have also been used as a sort of training for the Sheikah, similar to the Gerudo's training ground. Oh wow, that is I love that it's got the vicious sickle. That is, the more I look at it, the more amazing it becomes. That is amazing, Abigail. Oh my god. Oh no, that's great. I love it. I'm gonna go on Discord. And was that on just the main Discord? I'm gonna save that. Where it be? Oh, there it is. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, Abigail, that's just brilliant. I love it. Well, anyways, yeah, their own theory in it is kind of similar to what I was saying, as well. But there's another quick thing here. It says, due to their similar themes of close proximity, it's possible that the bottom of the well and the Shadow Temple are somehow related, either serving a similar purpose and or even as part of the Sheikah-controlled prison system. So part of a theory I always had was that they were actually at one point connected and a part of the same facility, but at one point whatever hallway or whatever connected them got like blocked off. That was always what I thought to be the case with them, because they are so similar. They even have the same music, everything. They are so similar that there's, to me, it just feels like there's got to be something to it. But I do feel like it has to be something related to the Sheikah doing stuff for the royal family, especially because there's like both the water level and the bottom of the well is controlled by, when you're inside there, you can lower it by playing Zelda's Lullaby, and there's the Triforce, like the royal family crest, and then the boat in the Shadow Temple is also controlled by the same means with the Triforce crest there too. So yeah, Jesse, take us away. What's the next thing do?
So I guess the final theory that we can cover here for all of this is, I don't know if it counts as a theory, but so it says fourth or fifth temple. This is kind of an obscure fact that I've always liked. There seems to be a minor contradiction in the game during indications of whether the Shadow Temple is the fourth or the fifth temple. By looking at the order of the medallions on the quest subscreen, it is revealed that the Spirit Temple is intended to be completed before the Shadow Temple. However, story-wise, the Spirit Temple is the last major temple. The need for the Lens of Truth to cross the haunted wasteland and find the Spirit Temple also seems to imply that the Shadow Temple is intended to be completed before the Spirit Temple. As the Lens of Truth is acquired in the Shadow Temple sections of Link's quest. However, the hover boots are never needed to reach or complete the Spirit Temple, only serving to remove the difficulty curve to some extent in certain puzzles of that temple. In fact, most locations within Gerudo's Fortress, the Haunted Wasteland, and Desert Colossus, and the Spirit Temple, where the hover boots may be found useful, the long shot can be used instead, which becomes apparent at the River of Sand and the Haunted Wasteland. However, despite this lack of use of the hover boots within the Spirit Temple and at related locations, the silver gauntlets and mirror shield found in the Spirit Temple provide no extra assistance within the Shadow Temple. The Shadow Temple is generally regarded as the fourth temple because Sheik, when making her original appearance, mentions each temple in what seems to be an order of completion, where the Shadow Temple is mentioned before the Spirit Temple. Also, the game's official strategy guide directs readers to complete the Shadow Temple directly after completing the Water Temple.
Also, Navi will have you, if you follow Navi's prompts of where to go, she'll have you complete the Shadow Temple first as well.
Yeah, I think it's a situation to where we know Ocarina of Time went through like a dozen different versions. There was like the original Zelda 64 where it was all on like a normal disc, and then it was split to where it was like half cartridge, half disc, and then it became just cartridge. And then even that version of Ocarina of Time being on the cartridge went through different versions. So maybe at one point, like, they were just intended to maybe be completed in any order, like A Link to the Past. Like, you do the first three, and then when you go to the Dark World, you can kind of choose whichever one you want to go to, I think. So maybe it was originally like that, but then they ended up making it more story focused to where you had to go to certain places. And then, like, you can complete the Spirit Temple before the Shadow Temple, but you don't, like, the story doesn't push you to do that. It pushes you towards the Shadow Temple because, like, it's natural to just go back to Kakariko Village. And when you go back to Kakariko Village, surprise, demon ghost thing breaks out of the well. And then, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably something that got changed around during development and they never fixed it. It's like the Triforce showing on the quest subscreen.
Yeah.
But you never actually get it, you know? But there's a slot for it, technically, on the subscreen.
Yeah.
So
it's all probably part of the Ura thing. To where it's
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
3 more dungeons where you can get each piece of the Triforce, but in the game you already get the Triforce. So
you know how they Anuma says, like, they'll reuse ideas like years even later in future Zelda games. And in Skyward Sword, there's this Skyview Temple. No, not Skyview Temple. Sorry, Skykeep, which is a great last temple, which is awesome. And sorry, guys, spoiler alert. In that temple, you go through 3 sections of the temple and get the Triforce pieces themselves. And I thought there was
like a
light
consolidated
temple.
Wind Waker Triforce quest.
Yeah, like a really consolidated one. But instead of going over all the different parts of the world, they give you a dungeon that has elements from all the different parts of the world, which is pretty cool. And I feel like maybe this is sort of a remnant of an idea of a missing light temple that maybe was supposed to be in Ocarina of Time. Right? I don't know. And maybe that's where that sort of thing would have occurred in the game to fill that section of the subscreen. It's just a big ol' speculation. A video game big ol' speculation.
Yeah. So I think we're ready to answer questions. So do you want to start us off, Mr. D-Man?
Oh, for sure. Well, guys.
I like how Tubes came in for 5 minutes, seeing we had bananas.
Yeah, and then she left. Rude.
She's like, okay.
Let's
They
get
lost it.
Trending on Twitter. Tubes is rude.
Yeah, it's true because it's rhymes.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of.
I feel another sneeze coming on, but it's not quite here yet. But we'll do an intro thing.
Hey everyone, it's me again, Elia Rose. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching this video. And you know what? If you're a fan of videos like this, you should totally subscribe and give this video a like and comment below to let us know what type of videos you would like to see us create in the future. And if you would really like to support all of us here at the GameOverJesse channel, please consider purchasing a GameOverJesse t-shirt or becoming a Patreon at patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can receive many rewards, such as getting shoutouts, having any topic or theory that you select discussed on the podcast or made into its own video, having your question answered, joining on as a guest on the podcast, and playing with us during our Twitch live streams at twitch.tv/GameOverJesse, and much, much more.